This is Art in the Industry, Siobhan assignment, Micah Lorick interview, take 1. Okay. My name is Micah Lorick. I won the Best Short Film Award at the Charlotte Black Film Festival in 2011. My first film that I worked on was Yanked. And this particular film was about two guys. One was supposed to be a prison convict, the other one was a nerdy type guy, and both of them had to be chasing after the same woman. So we did a 10-minute short on that. The next thing I worked on after that was the films that ended up getting me to win the Best Short Film Award, which was based on a couple true stories. Can I repeat that question one more time? Micah Lorick interview, take 1. In my particular profession, is the world of mass media arts. The role of it is right now is going to be get a lot of information out. One thing. The second part is going to, because of how easily accessible things are getting cheaper. You're going to be able to see a lot more stories. You're already seeing it now. A lot more stories that people weren't able to tell because they didn't have a budget. It's going to be just that much easier with the visual arts, with all things coming programs of cell phones to web-based applications to where you can just drop and drag and change how video is, versus having to go and spend at very least $100 on some video editing software. I mean, just everything is just being so powerful and quick to access. The visual arts of things that's going on now. It depends on which end you're on, whether it's a good or bad thing. If you are getting the funding and the money and whatnot to keep up with the latest thing, to give out a crisper visual video to somebody, and you're making that kind of money, it's good. Two things is those cameras, the imagery goes beyond what the monitors can put out. But because of the cost of those kinds of imagers, you got your people on your low end who would be, it's hard for them to afford that, buy that straight out. And then here it is a year or two later, the camera hasn't even gotten in good. They're on to the next best thing. That in itself is a bad thing, like I said, for the low end filmmakers, but for somebody who's got that kind of money, who probably can trade it in for the newer thing, or they're just renting it, that's probably fine. It's one of those straddle the fence questions. That was a hard question for me, because popular imagery, it's kind of hard to say what hasn't been done. And for a long time, you had everybody doing the Matrix thing. Then you have folks going back to the basics, to the dolly shots. Now it's all coming about, lighting, people getting back to the basics. So I think that's more the thing. People, to me, more the popular stuff, your television shows, they're getting to your back to the basics. Why is it you have your music videos, now it's all about graphics, special effects, but still a lot of the popular images, like I said, from a music video, from a standpoint, it's all about the graphics, how good your color is, how in fact you can draw people in. It's too many to tell. You just get so many different styles from different places, different people. But my favorite is obviously video, and the Matthew Libertique being director of photography on a lot of sets. I think his name is James Lynn, again, from Fast and Furious series, and James Cameron. They mentioned Spike, but back in the day, before I really knew it, I need to go back and study it. The way he told a story, with the camera angles, dollies, and things that he had to his disposal, and it was like that abstract type. Just for me being a television head, it's really influenced my videography and what I do. The fact of these stories are pretty interesting. It kind of gives me an opportunity to take a look and see what people want to see out there. So that's been the big influence, and trying to kind of write to that. And it also gives me a chance to kind of be one-off with some things it also gives me a chance to tackle something that is not tackled popular mainstream, which is one of the good things about being independent.